James Melendez, welcome to the show today. It's all about Sicilian wines, so stay tuned. So I was just in Sicily and I had an amazing visit, and so for me I think it's just really, it's so fresh and clear to me. In April, May of this year, 2017, I was able to visit, and I was there for the Sicilia in Premiere, as well as visiting Donnafugata. And for me to put foot on ground on this very sacred land, which I've thought about for quite some time, it's lived heavy in my imagination. So when you're there, it's really an amazing place to visit Palermo or Catania or Siracusa, or a variety of cities in between. A lot of people go to Corleone because of The Godfather. Ultimately, it's a stunning vista wherever you go. It is a great place where, you know, Mount Etna is top of mind for many people because of della Mascalese, but ultimately it's a really, I think, a great place for quality wines. And for me, I've just fallen in love with the experience. Now, I have fallen in love with Sicilian wines a long time ago. So for me, it was not just some convincing or really tasting through a lot of Sicilian wines, which I have in my past, experienced a good number of fantastic, high quality Sicilian wines. And ultimately, it's really getting that characterization and that beauty of this great land. So here's what we have. Now this map to me reflects, you know, the beauty of, you know, what I did was I landed in Palermo, and being part of Sicilia in Premiere, I chose a westerly direction. And so for me, it was just really getting to the identification of the regions. And you know, looking at this map, you're going to see that there are about 21 different DOCs. The entire island is covered by the DOC of Sicilia, and there's one DOCG, which is called Ceresolo di Vittoria. Now, this is my own drawing. I decided to do this drawing. Is it perfect to scale? No, not really, but it's really getting that idea of that northerly, southerly, westerly, easterly view of Sicilia. And ultimately, I'm going to use this in a book that I'm writing. So I decided, I looked for maps, I looked for resources. I didn't really find something that I identified with, and I thought, you know what, I like to draw. When I'm visiting the cantina or the vineyard, I'm there, you know, sketching away. Is it going to be a perfect sketch? No. Is it something to, you know, put in a museum? Of course not. It's really just to get that identification of that land. I look back at historical documents of a variety of natures, and I decided, you know, it's really important for me to really kind of give that feel. And when I write about something or put in my diary, you know, to get that moment of inspiration and beauty of the place you visit. So on the eastern portion, I did visit Catania. So for me, it was really a nice way to look at this region from east to west. So I crossed the island twice. It's a big island, and some of the documentation I read calls this a continent. Of course, they don't really mean that seriously. What they do mean, though, it has a continental climate, and it has a touch of the Mediterranean as well. So looking at Catania, right at the foot of Etna, and to see Etna's, you know, the smoke coming from Etna was really cool. But to see the wines from this region, Mascalese, you know, really I didn't get down to the southerly portion of Vittoria. I didn't get to do that. But I did get to Palermo, Catania, Marsala, get to go to Pantelleria. So to experience the Pasito de Pantelleria DOC. And for me, it's just really, you know, that great experience. Contessa Entalina I visited. So right here, you can see some bottles. And the point here is I went out into my home marketplace of San Francisco and I said, what is Sicilian in the marketplace? Well, there's more than you've ever found before. And ultimately, I think it's going to get better. And there's a lot of great reasons for that. Now, I think these are amazing wines. These are indigenous varieties. And so maybe the Zebibo would not be. So here's what we have. So this is from Gulfi, the producer. It's a DOCG wine. So it's the only DOCG. And it's Ceresolo di Vittoria. And this producer is called Graci. It's a 2016 Etna Rosato DOC. And here I did visit this particular producer. So this is called Tenuta Rapitalà. Now this is Nero d'Avola. I found this in my marketplace as well. And this is another producer I did visit, and I'll write this up and I'll put more information down below as I develop the material, the content. I love the dreamlike state of this wine called Ligia, and I think it's really beautiful. So this is the Zebibo grape, and so I think this is fun to have visited each of their properties, or actually most of their properties, not all of them, and to, you know, get that identification of high quality wines. They do produce international varieties. Now they produce a lot of different varieties. But ultimately, I think it's just really looking at everything all together in terms of what I have here is what I would call that identification with Sicilia, that identification of fine Sicilian wines. So, for me, I did visit other producers. I did visit Balio di Pianetto, Alessandro de Camporeale, Cipe di Spatafora, Fuedo de Sisa, Rallo, Tenuta Rapitalà, of course, and Donnafugata. For me, it was really, getting that great experience and, hearing from each producer, what are they doing and how did they come up with their either the heritage if they're a longtime producer or just what is continuing that quest to move forward. And I think it's just really getting that identification and that signature, that handshake of these producers. I think it's fantastic and interesting. So there's a lot of international varieties and they're going to either be part of a DOC or they're going to be part of an IGT wine. And so I'll tell you about the indigenous variety. So on the white side you have, and on the red side of course you have the Frappato, Nero d'Avola, and Nerello Mascalesi. It's a fantastic region. It's a very large island, of course, as I referred to earlier. It's about 240,000 acres under planting, or about 98,000 hectares. And I think this is really the heritage that you see here. Now you do have other wine grapes, Sicilia DOC, such as Fiano, Chardonnay, Mulo Togao. You have Viognier, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, Pinot Nero, Mondouse, and Carignano, amongst others. And an IGT wine, you might have Tannat or Petit Manseng or Alicante Boucher and Petit Verdot. And this land that is really, that Mediterranean kiss is not always going to be a kiss that is warm or palm tree oriented. Though there are palm trees, there's beautiful citrus on the island, and there's amazing capers. There's so many really cool things, really fantastic food culture. And really when you come away from this, you really are thinking about this region in terms of its capability of producing fantastic wines, amazing food that is highly identified with these wines. And I think for me, it's really looking at what I'm doing today, which is tasting and smelling this Rosato. I'll do each of these wines in their own video review and I'll post that over time and I'll place that right up here. And it's again that heritage note and the heritage point of producing quality wines, which I think Sicilia is just moving forward in a directional path. Of course, I think it's getting a lot of attention right now for its Etna wines. It's Nerello Mascalesi, but don't keep your eye off of other wines like this. I think this is a fantastic wine. This is a Ceresolo de Vittoria, which I think is really inexpensive. These wines are under $22 in San Francisco. When you look at other wines from other regions in North America or around the world, they're going to be much more expensive. Now, these are going to be wines that you're going to do a white wine, a rosé, or a rosato. You're going to do a red wine. And I think these are going to go with not just Sicilian dishes or Italian dishes. They're going to go with a variety of foods and cuisine styles. I really urge you to think about these wines. I'll put more information such as the indigenous varieties of Sicilia down below, so you can ask for these by name and you'll put more information on each of these producers as well. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews to come. I'm going to go back to Sicilia. I haven't explored enough of the island, and actually the eastern portion and the southern portion of the island is still calling at me, as well as the islands, and there's much more to do. So thank you again for watching. So let's stay connected. I'm on a variety of social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you again for watching today. Stay tuned for more. Salute!